few weeks ago, a friend sent me an article by Derek Thompson, published in the April issue of The Atlantic, with the title, "The True Cost of Church-Going Bust. Many Americans seem to have found no alternative method to build a sense of community." This is the title of the article. The author, interestingly an agnostic, never thought he would find himself in the position of mourning the sharp decline in church attendance in the last decades. He states that he has come to realize that, I'm quoting, "relationship with organized religion provided many things at once, not only a connection to the divine, but also a historical narrative of identity, a set of rituals to organize the week and year, and a community of families." Church decline, he says, represents a loss not just for organized religion, but for society and for democracy. He adds, "What's undeniable is that non-religious Americans," and this can be applied to many inhabitants of Western countries, "are also less civically engaged. Religiously unaffiliated Americans," he says, "are less likely to volunteer, less likely to feel satisfied with their community and social life, and more likely to say they feel lonely." The epidemic of loneliness today. And then interestingly, he adds that this civic retreat is a story about place, People today say, I'm quoting again, they just have fewer places to go for collective life. Places that used to anchor community life, like libraries and school gyms and union halls, have become less accessible or shuttered altogether. Many people, having lost the scaffolding of organized religion, seem to have found no alternative method to build a sense of community. Everything we do here at St. Thomas, including this symposium, as any other community of faith, is about building community. This is at the heart of our worship and of our faith. The civic and social irreplaceable role played by communities of faith, and acknowledged even by a non-religious person like Derek Thompson, stems from what we are. It's an expression of Christian identity. Now, I quoted this article because I find this acknowledgement particularly encouraging at the onset of our symposium on communities of faith and civil society modalities of engagement. As we were planning the best way of celebrating the bicentennial of our community, our rector, Father Carl, expressed the desire that it should be a time of thanksgiving for our history, but also, and crucially, a moment of discernment about our future. The bicentennial has made all of us more aware of the treasure entrusted to us. It has helped us to revisit our history and see how one of the secrets of the increasing prominence of St. Thomas in the life of Manhattan has been the ability to respond decisively to the bewildering change in circumstances and challenges over the past 200 years. Thus, this bicentennial has made us more deeply aware of what an invaluable treasure our church community is called to be for our city and our society, and inspires us to find new ways of embodying the vow inscribed in the vision of St. Thomas to make a difference to Midtown Manhattan by being a vibrant community of faith where all can feel at home. Sunday worship and the many activities our clergy team animates for children, families, pastoral care, Asian ministry, theological education, etc., are meant to be community building. We do a lot already, and yet we can never become complacent. Never think it is enough. Never take the work of community building and strengthening for granted. Recently, a group of some 30 of our parishioners have started to gather on a regular basis to find new ways of being more actively involved in social outreach. Since 2017, St. Thomas has been part of the EOP, the Ecumenical Outreach Partnership, with the neighboring 5th Presbyterian and St. Patrick's Cathedral, and we are planning to expand volunteering for it. The EOP employs several social workers and is dedicated to address the needs of vulnerable New Yorkers and migrants, a lot of migrants we see there, facing challenges related to the lack of housing, insecure shelter, poverty, hunger, physical and mental health, safety, isolation, and struggle to meet basic needs. They do an incredible work there. This is an ecumenical and service-based model of engagement we have in common with countless other communities of faith in a city, and churches, synagogues, and mosques. And the reflection we are about to embark on should help us to become aware of other models that can inspire us based on listening and making sure, and this is the key, that social action goes beyond immediate relief and truly empowers people in need to become not subjects but actors in the improving of social justice for themselves and for everyone else. Now, I cannot express enough my gratitude to the 5 inspiring speakers and excellent communicators who will help us in this reflection over these 2 days. They are not only first-class thinkers, but also deeply and personally, and for me this was the most important thing, deeply and personally involved in Christian, social, and charitable outreach in the US and in the UK. And our gratitude goes particularly to the Archbishop of York, Stephen Cottrell, who is visiting our community this week and has agreed to take part in both days of our symposium. When you know the program he has this week and the pace of meetings and etc., while he has still to deal with problems at home, it's really incredible. We really appreciate your presence here and your contribution. He will help us with this pastoral experience and his view of the Anglican Communion as a whole.